Hello, everybody. I'm back with another frequently asked question. And funny that this question got asked this week by the lovely Sarah. It got asked in my paid group as well, part of my program. And so I literally was just talking about this same question in my program group. And now I'm coming on here to do it. So it was like perfect timing. So Sarah actually wanted to know how to eat healthy on a budget. And this is such a great question, and that I get asked quite a lot. And, we've got this perception that eating healthy is going to cost more. And, sometimes it does, but you can do it in a better way so it is cheaper. But before we jump in though, I want to hear from any of you guys tuning in live. Can you guys drop me a hello or an emoji in the comments if you're joining live, or if you're listening to the replay, comment with #replay, because what it does, it allows me to know, how many people are on Facebook at this time, or if there's a better time that I should be doing these live. So go and drop me an emoji or give me a wave. Sometimes I can't see comments and I can't see them now, but I should be able to see them in a bit. Now, let's jump in. I have a heap of tips to share with you because everyone wants to get bang for their buck, right? I don't know if that's an Australian saying or if that is like everyone says that. I think they do. Sometimes I just don't know. It's so hard. Sometimes people look at me as if I'm crazy. Anyway, one thing I want to point out is that healthier food does cost more than normal, bad, crappy food. But it does not have to break the bank if you avoid convenience foods and do some planning of meals and implement shopping strategies. And just keep in mind that though the food may cost a little more, it is a lifelong investment to better health. And in the long run, when you take care of your body and feed it the food it needs, it will save you money with future medical bills. And I'm deadly serious about that. Now, my tip number one is to meal plan. And meal planning is probably the best thing you can do to save money on nutritious foods, but also to save you time in the long run. It prevents you from running through the drive-through or grabbing convenience foods that cost more and aren't as good for you. Now, in my course, I do have a module that goes over meal planning. If you plan your meals, you can group meals together that have common ingredients and choose meals that make great leftovers. You can also make meals ahead of time with common ingredients and freeze them, cooked or uncooked. And I just gave this tip in my other group as well. And what I did last week, because I knew that this week was going to be crazy busy, I actually got dump bags. Well, they're not really called dump bags, but I got bags, freezer bags, and I put in all my raw ingredients for my Instapot meal that I was going to cook. And I basically just put it all in, put it in the freezer, and then the night before took it out of the freezer and then dumped it into my Instapot, and there was my meal. That is one good tip for saving time. Tip number two, for saving money, don't buy food when you need it. And I know that sounds a bit funny, or how do you do that? You want to buy it when it's on sale. If you stock up on items when they're on sale, then you won't have to pay full price when you actually need them. Tip number three is take a look at the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 to figure out which produce to buy organic and which you can buy non-organic. So I am going to drop the links to the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. While I do prefer to buy organic for everything, you can save some money by just buying the organic fruits and veggies that are on the Dirty Dozen list. You can also buy produce when it's in season, which is cheaper, and also from farmers markets. Sometimes local farmers may not be certified organic, but if you get to know them, and you might find out that they actually don't use pesticides, but just can't afford to get the organic label. So with the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen, always buy organic with the Dirty Dozen, but with the Clean 15, you don't have to buy organic for those ones. And then in between those lists, you do what's best for your budget, okay? So if you can buy more organic, then that's great. If you can't, then you don't have to buy organic for the ones in between. Tip number 4 is stay away from processed foods. You know, they are convenient, yes, but they do cost a lot more money. And honestly, they're not as nutritious. What we want to do is we want to choose foods that are whole and give the body the nutrition it needs to heal. So replacing cookies and crackers and chips with fresh veggies and homemade dip. You can make your own trail mix instead of buying it in bags. Homemade la bars to replace granola bars, and homemade granola instead of expensive cereals are some ideas to get you started. I love overnight oats, and I really teach everyone that I work with is to learn how to make those because they are wonderful. And also chia puddings, because using them instead of buying the containers of yogurt itself has usually lots and lots of sugar in it, which we don't want to give to our kids. But overnight oats is so easy and so quick to make a massive batch on Sunday. It takes 5 minutes, put them in little jars, and then you've got your breakfast for the whole week. Don't buy pre-made pasta sauce in jars. It's very easy to make your own, and then you can add extra nutrition. So tip number 5, make bread from scratch or don't use it at all. Gluten-free bread is expensive. I am going to say that. So I often suggest families not to use it at all. You can get the same nutrients from other foods, and usually mostly bread is not that nutritious anyway, but you can make your own. You can also make your own baking mixes and pancake mixes, as these are cheaper and easier, and you can make a big batch, store it in an airtight container, and they're there for such a long time. Tip number 6 is to buy a whole chicken instead of chicken breast. Whole chicken gives you more bang for your buck. Plus, then you can use the carcass and the bones to make beautiful bone broth for future soups, which are another cheaper meal that you can make. For this bone broth, you can keep all your extra uncooked veggies in a freezer bag before they spoil and add to the freezer bag as you acquire them. And then when it's time to make the broth, you can utilize those frozen veggies instead of them spoiling. But bone broth is such a healing, nutritious broth that you can give your kids to help them heal their gut as well. Tip number 7, look for discounted meat that is about to expire and then freeze it. Tip number 8, eat breakfast for dinner and have meatless Mondays. You can make enough for leftovers. Some inexpensive fulfilling items that you can include with your meals are things like beans and quinoa, gluten-free oats, rice, potato. Buying dried beans, cooking them and then freezing them in smaller batches is actually cheaper as well. Tip number 9 is never let those bananas or other fruit go bad. You can freeze bananas when they're browning. Rather than throwing them out, peel them, cut them up, put them in the freezer. Same with other fruit, and you can use them to make your own ice cream or for smoothies. Now, guys, those are my top 9 tips. I'd also love to hear from you guys what your best tips are and tricks to save money. What has helped you? Can you please pop them in the comments or suggestions in the comments below so we can help each other? Because if there's any amazing ones, I want to take those in as well. Now, my name is Dana Kay. I'm always happy to help. My passion is to help families all across the USA and the world, if possible, but not quite yet, learn how to reduce their child's ADHD symptoms naturally so that they can realize they do have other options for ADHD treatment besides medication. Now, one of the biggest obstacles many families face when thinking of switching to a better diet is the financial roadblocks. My team has got this down to a science and are the experts in helping overcome these obstacles. If you'd like to chat with us about how we can help you make that switch to healthier food, the best way to do that is to jump on a free call with me or my team. I'm going to pop the link in the comments below for you to book that call if you'd like to see if we can help you. So guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I look forward to chatting with you all next week. Take care.